Water, the source of all life. For millions of years, the mighty Yangtze River of China has nurtured some of the most extraordinary creatures on Earth. But today, these ancient waters hold a ghostly silence. They have lost their greatest king. Meet the Chinese paddlefish, scientifically known as Psephurus gladius. This magnificent creature was not just a fish, it was a living fossil. Its ancestors swam through the murky depths since the Lower Jurassic period, over 200 million years ago. They survived the catastrophic events that wiped out the dinosaurs. Yet, as we will discover, surviving the forces of nature is very different from surviving the age of humanity. Growing up to an astonishing 7 meters in length, it was one of the largest freshwater fishes the world had ever seen. A true prehistoric leviathan, gliding gracefully through the currents of time. To look at the Chinese paddlefish is to look deep into the prehistoric past. It had a sleek, cartilaginous skeleton, adorned with a dark gray back and a striking white underbelly. But its most defining feature was its elongated, sword-like snout. This unique anatomy earned it the local nickname, the elephant fish. This extraordinary rostrum was not just for show. In the low-visibility, muddy waters of the Yangtze, this elongated snout acted as a highly sensitive biological antenna, allowing the giant to detect the electrical signals of its prey hidden in the riverbed. For countless millennia, they ruled these waters. A healthy Chinese paddlefish was a master of its domain, capable of living for an estimated 29 to 38 years in the wild. They were the undisputed apex predators of this complex river system. The life of the Chinese paddlefish was defined by an epic anadromous journey. Born in the rushing upstream waters, the young would eventually migrate toward the sea, only to return upstream as adults to spawn and create the next generation. It was a cycle of life that remained unbroken for eons. But the 20th century brought an unstoppable force: human progress. Driven by a booming population and a demand for power, massive hydroelectric dams were erected across the Yangtze River. These towering walls of concrete illustrated the brilliance, but also the arrogance of human ingenuity. For the Chinese paddlefish, the dams were impenetrable barriers. Their ancient migratory routes were severed. The fish were blocked from reaching their spawning grounds, fracturing the population and destroying their ability to reproduce.
Habitat fragmentation by the dams was a devastating blow, but it was not the only weapon humanity wielded. As the decades passed, the relentless pressure of overfishing pushed the paddlefish to the brink. The river that had protected them for 200 million years became a gauntlet of commercial nets. Furthermore, the rapid industrialization along the Yangtze banks brought a toxic wave of severe water pollution, degrading the fragile ecosystem they called home. Unable to breed and continuously hunted in polluted waters, the giants' numbers plummeted. Scientists estimate that by the 1990s, the species had suffered a functional extinction, meaning there were simply too few individuals left to sustain a viable population. The giant was bleeding out, and the world barely noticed.
By the turn of the 21st century, sightings of the panda of the Yangtze had become nothing more than local myths. Then, a fleeting moment of hope. In 2003, researchers encountered a living female. She was a massive specimen, measuring 3.52 meters long and weighing a staggering 160 kilograms. Scientists carefully attached a tracking tag to her, releasing her back into the wild, praying she would lead them to others of her kind. But it was not meant to be. Shortly after her release, the tracking signal was lost in the vastness of the river. That moment in 2003 was the very last time human eyes would ever look upon a living Chinese paddlefish.
For years, exhaustive searches were conducted, but the river offered no miracles. In January 2020, the International Union for Conservation of Nature, the IUCN, officially declared the Chinese paddlefish extinct. The declaration sent shockwaves through the scientific community. The story of the Chinese paddlefish is a haunting tragedy of human interference. A creature that survived global cataclysms and the extinction of the dinosaurs could not survive a few decades of human development. Its extinction is a permanent, irreversible loss. The Yangtze River still flows to the sea, but it flows a little emptier. Let the silent fate of this fallen giant be a stark warning to us all before the rest of our natural world fades into memory.